You've no idea how many females I've met who basically, God, the point is, when their toilet backs up, they just keep shitting on it and flushing it and thinking it will go away. You can see it in microcosm there. So, females shit in the river, but it's gone. It's gone then, it's gone. She doesn't live in a fucking continuum. She literally lives moment to moment. Me. Yeah, without a man, which the Ashkenazi learned off the Romans, the whole thing collapses. It's a black hole. And we can see it. Because she was not done. She would give the guy a hard time. Because she's a bird-brained, pen-pecking, horrendous little monster. She knows it works on this giant man. Aye! You know. She should be done away with. To this day, you can see how much of a fucking monster she was in Africa. Because they had to invent language because of her. Right? And long distance communication. Right? Because of her. Right? They depart with that beautiful body, that human form. Right? And endured such brain damage from her. To this day, African's men's hair stands on end and is fucking kinky. Goinky dink? I don't think so. Nigger, my nigger. Yeah. To this day you can see the fucking echoes of her fucking hen-pecking of that innocent African human man. On end. Like pubes. Almost. Of course, African hair is beautiful. You can see the echoes of her. In it. In it. Where does she go next? Yeah. The Middle East. Where to this day say, no, if you're going to stay here, you will shut the fuck up, you will just show your eyes. Right? Walk about tastefully. We're human men. We will respect you, you respect us. Yeah? Right? I'll come back to this demographics and come back to your demon graphic. These alien, emotionless replicants behind it all. The weak links that led these Ashkenazi vermin in to genocide an entire species on this planet. Right? So in the Middle East, to this fucking day, right, they had to develop great advances, try and teach her with their religion, their morality. Nothing. Right? To this day, they wear bandages round their head. Then where does she go? Fuck you, Spielberg. Point is, she goes to the coldest islands in the entire... Why would you leave one of those beautiful places on earth that goes on to be the richest fucking place on earth until the fucking Portuguese with Ashkenazis elbow hanging out their arse showed up, these wee pricks, scumbags, yeah? The provincial ones. Yeah, inbred Eurotrash, sub-Neanderthal fucking cannibal paedophiles and bloody vampires. Yeah, Holocaust obsessed vermin saying you are what I am. Yeah. Where does she end up? She ends up in the most fucking ice and tundras you could possibly imagine. Why would a woman who's cold-rifed want to end up in Scotland or the fucking tundra on the borderline of Russia? Why would she want to end up on the coldest island you could possibly choose on earth, really? One of them. So she can go, and because the male with that female brain in it, no feeling. So he can't feel the compassion and love for a child, yeah? So he redirects not only his sex drive into abusing to trigger this ventral tegmental reward centre, he also redirects his maternal instinct in the wrong sex of brain for his body. This bestial perversion, this hollow brain, this punished degenerate, redirects it into murdering children. So they had to go there because they were rejected for murdering children. Yeah, the Peruvian empire fell, the Egyptian empire fell, the Roman empire fell. Your empire is about to fall. because it's all based on bullshit. And at the rotten core of it lies nepophiliacs. Or to be more accurate, nepiophiliacs. Right? That's what they are. Nepiophiliacs. And they have breeders who hand them children straight out the womb and say, off you will, jolly well go and murder that child. I'll take that money from you. Money, the root of all evil. The Ashkenazi print it out. And then all their minion, that 15%, rush to get it. If anyone stands in their way, just shoot Serpico through the face. Frank gets a bullet. Yeah. Mr. Serpico must die. Because he stood against that. He stood for you, as I'm standing for you. Yeah, I'm taking them all on. He took on tens of thousands of armed serial killers who are criminal scum, at least turning a blind eye, taking the coin, knowing damn well what's going on, part of it. The reason police are called the filth is because the majority of them go to these black masses and have scat parties. Filthy pigs. Yeah. So, here's the thing, right? They're everywhere. Yeah. They run everything in your life by lying and hoping you care about them and won't execute them. Yet in all these countries, they execute them, right? I'll come to that demographic now. 1.2 billion Africans, and 90% of them have made it illegal to be homosexual. You'll be executed, marginalised at best. Right? Except South Africa, where it's overrun with Ashkenazi. Always trying to make it me, the way I want things to be. The majority of them are born with the wrong sex of brain for the body. That's the epitome of homosexuality. Yeah? The majority of homosexuals have a female brain, the wrong sex of brain for the body, right? But obviously you have females with a male brain as well, however, they're in female form. And nonetheless, right, the majority of them are paedophiles. They have an unbidden, morally vacant, grossly unself-aware, mindlessly repetitive, hollow bird's brain. Just talk to get what you want. Yeah? It's just garbage. Talk garbage to get what you want. Lie. In all these countries, 1.2 billion Africans, are they all stupid, all wrong? The most advanced culture before the Portuguese, followed by the Dutch, followed by the Jew, murdered them, assassinated them, fucking genocided them, crushed and destroyed everything for sexual pleasure, for this, triggering their ventral tegmental reward centre, because that's the bad breast. Yeah? Europe's the white breast, isn't it? Middle East's now the bad breast. Yeah? What next? Well, yourselves. Dresden, carpet bombed. Is that going to happen to you next? Well, they mindlessly repeat themselves. It's fucking carved in stone. Yeah? I'm living proof of the moral law. It rewards you no matter what I take on. And I've taken on an enormous amount for you. Because if it's possible to save one child, I must, do whatever it takes. However, I've contacted every English-speaking police force on earth. Right? And not one of them will help me. Hint. The unconscious rule. Frank Serpico was a brilliant and is a brilliant man. Right? He says 100% of them are corrupt and rotten to the core. Yeah? Why are you paying hostile dependents who, wait for it, provably have shares in racehorses with the criminals they're supposed to be arresting? It was in the Telegraph, that. And I very rarely read any of this shit, the Ashkenazi, print. It's mainly prostitutes mindlessly repeating what they'd prefer you to think was reality, and to then care when they go, you are what I am. Yeah. So, all their shit's fucking garbage, yeah? Right? It's all shit. Stop watching your television and fucking migrate to Africa, right? You don't have any time left. The West is heading for the almightiest fall. Sodom and Gomorrah eat your fucking heart out, right? You're on the precipice of several different options that they have. And it's all their own, because there's no rival for them whatsoever at all. Russia's just another hand of the puppet, sadly. And so that's where you are right now, right? And you can see these alien replicants, how far they'll go to the ends of the fucking earth to pretend they're still not wrong, even when they're degenerate to the nth fucking degree, as I'm about to expose for you. Yeah. They dupe your worst into joining that 15%, and they all work as what they call a hive mind and pretend Satan exists. As I've said, they're left dancing down the woods. That 3.5 million German traitor group, where everybody was murdered in Germany except a wee kind of group of people who were nothing to do with anything, right? The Ashkenazi came in on the back of a tank, right? With the Russian rapists and the allied fucking mud-covered troops, rounded up that 3.5 million and tortured them to death for 4 fucking years. That's the reward the Ashkenazi give you for helping them. I say again, they respect me. They don't respect your traitors, right? But the traitors think, they're getting a reward, and they'll bid to be rent-a-mob. They'll target individuals, they'll gang stalk them, each one thinking it's death by 1,000 cuts. However, it doesn't work on me. Yeah. So I've gathered an enormous amount of evidence against them, and not one English-speaking police operative has replied to me. On the 7th of the 10th, that's this month, 2015, I left a 999 message because my advocado said to me, my lawyer, that she wanted me to contact America. It's the only country I have to say I've not contacted, right? Because I don't want to. I think, get out of here, Spielberg. Right, anyway, because I believe that would then put the cat amongst the pigeons, a much higher chance of bringing specific people I'm going to bring to your attention for the last time to justice, as it were, if I contact the police in America, because there is some of them who are compartmentalised, and you could, in theory, get an extradition for these specific people. However, it's the bigger picture that I'm, only interested in exposing. I don't think that when someone commits a crime against me, narcissistically, that's something that's, the worst things in sliced bread. It's like, today, yesterday, the day before, explosions taking place where someone's standing with their daughter, has to lift her up and her leg is left on the ground. Yeah. His son is melted in front of him. He has to make a decision, and he has to run to the ambulance, to the hospital, whatever it is, try and save his daughter's life. And the person who did it to him wasn't really personal, really, but it could have been, the point being, whatever hardship I've got to go through is nothing by comparison to the people I'm trying to save, from these gannets who see you as being human and themselves as being cannibals, and who are responsible for 2,300 people every single day in America being eaten, and 140,000 every single fucking year, and your police force know damn well. But if you try and contact your policeman, good luck. You've got to speak to some wee harpy at the front desk who's an alien emotionless replicant who'll give you a hard time. No. Yeah. And your police force won't get back to you. I've written articles publicising every single one of their email addresses. Now, this moment in time, what I need to tell you is this, right? I've been exposing a paedophile ring for 4.5 years. I didn't know it was a paedophile ring. I was targeted by an undeclared prostitute who I didn't know she had a microchip either in her ear or actually in her head somewhere. And as far-fetched as that may seem, check it out, it's EMP chip implant. And so what happens then is they can be communicated with remotely. And she had 2 people in the background, one who's meant to be like a hunter who shoots you, and coward, I call them, and Elvis Parsley, to be exact. And the other one, he is a self-confessed cannibal, and he murders children, and he refers to himself as being a high priest, which means he is a murdering paedophile, and he has over and above that 15%, he calls the shots, so he tells your police what to do. They're untouchables. Yeah. So those are the people I took on. However, she also has a son, I think, who I call Oliver Twister, or you can call him Timma, because he allegedly is so degenerate, it's almost unfucking believable, right? He sits like this all day, every fucking day. He's consumed with hatred, but he's in that 15%. So are they. So they believe they're untouchable, and they all work together. And they've sent paedophiles out to my farm in Portugal for years, for 2 years. However, I still didn't know that they were paedophiles. No, absolutely certain, you know, until they start to commit more and more crimes. And 2 years ago, I recorded a video. At the end of it, I said, are you contacting me for a fucking reason, you know? And I'll list all the crimes they've committed, and I'll just end the video, right? What I said was, you've been sending me like fucking prostitute emails for fucking years. What do you want, you know? There's a place at the table set for you if you want to come, you know? But come correct, don't do your cryptic shit. Self-deluded, cryptic, superficial, centre of flat world shit, right? Spielberg, you're fucking sacked, right? Now here's the thing. They then panicked and went into, you know, higher mode of obsession manically about me. And I still couldn't delineate as well as I can now who was who and what was what and why was why. So suffice to say, one of them is called Thomas Bradley, and he told me recently that he's the son, you know, of Marie McCallum, as she was called at that time. And her sister's called Jacqueline Bradley. So that's what we know. She has a son, allegedly, who's either high-functioning autistic or borderline Down syndrome. And but he's, you know, it doesn't mean you're a good person. You know, you're taught to believe if someone's autistic, you know, it's a good person. No, very easily weaponized against their own, and very many people are used up in looking after them. That's part of the plan, right? And so you've got them. Then you've got this horrendous person I lampooned earlier on, who's got 3 ginger kiss curls in the middle of his forehead, the easiest DJ to track down on earth, right? He's horrendously ugly looking, right? He genuinely looks like a shot fox at all times. The Medusa, eat your heart out. So the point being, he drives a small black van. I think he lives in Australia, which it might be Queensland for all I know. However, he would be well known, a ginger Neanderthal, with 3 ginger kiss curls, right, who might be ex-army. And he's led me to believe he's missing both legs from the just below the knee down. So really quite easy to pin someone like that down. He works as a DJ. I think his stage name is like Big Ben. I could be wrong. But so that would be him. It'd be very easy to track down in Australia. Somebody who you could never forget, the ugliest person you've ever seen in your life with 3 ginger kiss curls, who works as a DJ and a clown, right? And he is a self-confessed serial killer and a cannibal, right? And he runs dozens of prostitutes, I believe. And he sleeps outside in that little black dinky van, Scooby-Doo van. And he's been contacting me on and off for 4 years. But once again, to me, it was just a blob. I didn't, you know, delineate it too much. I had a rough idea of who it was in each instance. But I just saw them as a kind of oneness with a ginger wig on top, right? Now, the prostitute, she's responsible for some of the contacts of me for 4.5 years, since she was an undeclared prostitute, came into my life and wanted to commit crimes against me. And I'll list them very quickly, right? However, there's also Danny Boy, who's got flesh-eating necrotizing fasciitis, and the bones of his skull stick out through his scalp. Now that's quite distinctive. He's renowned for wearing a straw kind of pork pie hat, right? Now, he is what's called the high priest. In other words, he's a cannibal. Lots of evidence against him too. Tons of evidence against him. I stopped taking evidence when I finally saw the fucking Medusa. You know, it was fucking horrendous. And the point is, I'm going to list the crimes they've committed against me now. And this is how selfless I've been towards you. You ready? 1, undeclared prostitute with a mezzanine that I've just mentioned, of those 3 males, and her corrupt sister in the background. And her daughter and son, who did meet me in person, are in on this together, right? And I don't know they're part of a fucking massive network, right? Fuck me, right? And I didn't fall for her pity play. It's just I've always been about trying to help people, you know. Living Christ! And the point being, So she was an undeclared prostitute, and I tried my best to love her and care for her and give her a gift. There's a bit of history attached to it, blah, blah, blah. And she tried to ruin it because she had this criminal agenda. And these people were talking to her in her ear, so she was passing on from them these messages, while simultaneously seeing herself as being secretly a good person, whilst trying and cause me post-traumatic stress disorder, to tenderise me so these beasts could then take over and carry out their crime against this innocent good man. As part of that government-run, needless government-run group of people who would shoot Frank Serpico through the face and leave him to die. So, fuck you, they said to him in his hospital bed, on record. So, here's a list of crimes, right? Number 1, she tried to poison me a little bit. She hacked my computer, which I didn't mind because it's kept up this cord of communion so I could study that lower form of life, right? And I think she had HIV, or so she said, and so she wanted to try and pass that on to me. Nice gift. And she also essentially turned what was a gift into hopefully a theft, but it wasn't a theft because on record repeatedly I was grateful to give it to her because of the little bit of history and the fact she was fucked up like a motherfucker. So, she also started then like sending me death threats and things like that with the use of these people. So they're working a mezzanine, so you don't know who's on shift, and they're sending you this crap. And then they're also trying to reseduce you so she can come back. And all the while they're hoping you're wasting time and suffering, right? So it's wearing you down. And you're missing meals, and you're going to suffer PTSD. However, I was amazed. It's brilliant. It's like having Peter Sutcliffe on the other end of a styrofoam cup and string. Ding, 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 ding. Basically, all that was missing was the banjo music. The point is, eventually I contacted your police farce in Wisha, and on record, they said, we'll wait till she kills someone else, then we'll arrest her. And hung up on me. Wisha police farce in North Lanarkshire in Scotland, 4 years ago. So, I was then detained in the middle of the night, right? You can see it in Erol on the Police Farce Arrest 1 and Erol on the Police Farce Arrest 2. But Police Farce 1 tells you a great deal. And what happened was, I chose to be arrested, which I've done in the past. And so I wanted to study, like Jonah in the belly of the beast. And to conclude, these wee beasts then revealed their horrendous true selves that Frank Serpico saw. Yeah. And I saw the corruption of the system, how it's run by paedophiles who use prostitutes to drag men into it and fleece them. However, I didn't use 1 penny of the public purse. Yeah, I represented myself, and my solemn oath is on Glasgow Sheriff Court's records, where I swore everything about them, and then left the country to go to Portugal. Right? And when I left, I believed I hadn't finished my study. I believed there was more to know. I still didn't know 15% of them work as a computer network and can easily access each other and just bribe each other to go and commit any crime against anybody and do it as a collective, as a pincer movement over a long period of time. And if they've hacked your computer, they can see what you're doing. So it's quite easy for them. So, I remembered a tell I'd seen in person, and so I kept letting them hack my computer. To this day, my computer on right now is hacked by them. So that's how easy it would be for your police farce to catch them. However, they shat themselves the last time they saw me contact all the police farces in a winner. They shat themselves, and it was fucking priceless. Because they immediately shut my computer down and tried to pull the bug out. However, I fucked about and pretended and didn't take it back out just to finish what I was doing. So, I'm finished now. It's just certain events I'll have to come to have happened, and that's all about it, right? So, because you've got 1 day until the kidnappings start. It's the 12th of the 10th, 2015. All it's missing is Hal. So anyway, but I was going to do Hal in this, but I heard Alex Jones murder it the other day, and I thought, no, fuck it, horrendous. He's the organised resistance working exclusively for Ashkenazi Jufs. All his sponsors selling you cock pills after they've put the poison into you, yeah. So these are some of the crimes. So they're obsessed with hacking your computer, and then every single time they try and contact you, it's the exact same thought. And this is Erol on Unitards. Every single thought is the exact same thought, right? All they're obsessed with is you choosing to unwittingly get angry, then suppressing your right to do so with the prefrontal cortex, as I mentioned at the start, which they don't have. So they suffer enormously when they get angry. I call it the fricassee. That's exactly how they look, right? Priceless. And whereas I've been studying being non-reactionary, which they know, since my mid-20s. I'm a living Christ, for God's sakes. And I channel the moral law. I get great gifts all the fucking time, and yet I'm on insane mode. You know, playing the part of Jonah and then the part of Noah. And, you know, ultimately wanting to save as many children as possible, and that's up to you, through you. Yeah. You have to not fall for their shit anymore. Stop watching their fucking flashing crap. So anyway, the point is, and they're Elvis Parsley and Marilyn Mongo, right? So they kept on doing this, right? And so I was studying it because I was profiling an arsehole and I didn't realise, because at the front of the brain there is no cortices working, so it's just an arsehole with a length of rectum that terminates in two fucking bugs, essentially. That's it, make their bird brain. And if they get stoned and then they can move to the lizard part of the brain, taking over things really, and chill the fuck out, you know. A lizard's much more chill by comparison to a bird. Yeah? So, but then if they go to this part of the limbic system and where this is in charge and it's split in half down the REM system, they've got a fucking rabid beast away with things, and they're a rabid bitch, and nothing to see themselves, just this feral, carnal, carnivorous beast, and not human by any stretch of the imagination. So every single day they would try some dirty trick, as it were, or some dirty comment or whatever, and always the exact same shit. What can I say or do with my spastic brain I need shot through the face for? Every waking thought without exception. You couldn't make up how stupid they are. They're monkeys, right? So, what can I say or do with my spastic brain I need shot through my face for? Imagine someone contacting you for fucking 4 years thinking, what can I say or do with my spastic brain I need shot through my face for? Because you must choose to personalise how low a form of fucking shit they've become, right? Right? However, what I didn't know was they would then start sending paedophiles out to my farm, which they did. So I put the farm up for sale. Originally, there was a estate agents who said they would sell it for 26,000, right? On queue, 26,000, right? And I thought to myself, right, well, they've hacked my computer, so if I put it in for 49,999, right, this will attract these wee pricks, and I'll see. I wasn't absolutely certain though, so they sent out about a dozen paedophiles, one after the other, each one going, what can I say I do with my spastic brain I need shot through my face for? That must get a negative reaction. Because these pieces of shit are in denial that their mindless fuckhole has one thought. They're unitards, right? So, when the spastic points at something, you've got a spot on your chin, right? They're uniplex, so they believe they've magically disappeared. You couldn't make this up. And you can just calmly have no reaction, deconstruct them. They think, you can't take it back. I've said you've got a spot on your chin, so it's all gone pretend proven, right? And you just calmly have no reaction, non-reaction, non-event taking place about them. You don't care about them. You are what I am, you know, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't fucking work on me. Right? They're retards with shite for their brains, provably. The majority of their brain doesn't eat sugar. It doesn't work. They have hollow brains, right? So, the point being,